This is one of the most interesting things I've seen in a very long time. This woman recently lost custody of her children, and she vlogged about it for a good amount of time. Um, and it's just really interesting to see her reaction to it and to see people react to her reaction to it. Um, I want to preface this by saying, like, I personally, I don't I don't care what she like. She feels like however she wants to feel. She's entitled to feel any way she wants to feel. I've never lost a child. I've never had to fight for custody or anything like that. I've never been in that situation. I've been an abandoned child. I do know what it feels like to be an abandoned child, but I don't know what it feels like to be a parent that has lost a child due to custody, a custody issue, whatever. So I'm not here to pass judgment on this woman at all. I find her story to be interesting. I find her story to be sad in a lot of ways, and I also find it to be very reflective of the court systems. So that's what I want to speak on.
It's weird. Um, it's like 1 second, 1 second, I had all three of them, and then the next, it was just one. And I know I'm supposed to kind of like, because it does make life easier to go from doing every single thing by yourself for three children to having one is it's easier, right? Children, my children are my people. Like I have people I share blood with, but they're not family. I have people I have relationships with, and they wouldn't think twice about like stabbing me in the back. Like my children are my people, you know. So to no longer have them the way that I used to have them, um, like it stings. Because at the end of the day, all I want is I want them to be good. Like I don't even mind. I don't mind them being with their dad as long as I know they're gonna be good. But that's not something that I know. I don't know how they're going to be because this wasn't something that was done with care and consideration for them. It was more so like an attempt to hurt me. They cried. And I tried not to cry because I didn't want them to see me sad. But I'm not that much of a thug. But they're calm.
So she loses custody of her kids to the father of her children. Um, that was really rough. That was really hard to watch for me, at least, because I couldn't imagine, and just even trying to imagine was rough. But yeah, that's essentially what happened. Um, now, I know what my mind instantly thought was like, how did this happen? And I didn't go to like blaming her. I just was like, I wonder how this happened, and why did it happen? So, I did a little research and I found something to kind of explain it to some extent, to the best of I think that she could on this platform. Um, I have to apologize for the sound. It's not me. It's not the video. It's her recording of it. I think she might have recorded it on the Bluetooth and she didn't know. But this is the sound. So you got to turn the volume up. I'll try to turn it up later in post, but it may still be a little low. It's going to be grainy and all of that stuff. I just want to give you that heads up.
Okay, so a lot of you are getting it wrong. Here's the reason why I'm losing custody. It's not because I mistreated my children or anything like that, because I'm a bomb behind parent and I'm very devoted as a mom. It's because I left the state. There was already a child support case, not even child support, custody case going on because their father decided to take me to court so that he could force me to have 1 week here, 1 week there, because that's what we're doing. I lived 3 hours away. He was getting them for 1 week, and I was getting them for 1 week. However, I never really agreed with that just because I felt like it didn't give them a sense of home. Like they couldn't even go to roots because 1 week they were in Orlando, another week they were in Fort Lauderdale. And then something happened while they were in his care that was just unacceptable. And I was like, oh, nah, we're not doing this anymore. And he did not like that.
So, obviously, what happened in their care while you're in their care, while the children were in his care, is already like what the hell. But B, 3 hours away. How the hell would they go? How were they? How would they be able to go to school? What school did they go to? Were they enrolled in two different schools, or were they homeschooled by both parents? Like that's just crazy. To 1 week on, 1 week off, 3 hours away. That's crazy. So yeah, she didn't like do anything to harm the kids or anything like that. She tried to leave the state while they were while he filed for custody or whatever, which is a big no-no. I've seen that blow up in people's faces before. But nonetheless, she tried to leave the state. And essentially, I'm guessing that's how he ended up getting custody, was because she tried to leave the state. And so that we can get somewhat of a better understanding of the type of individual that she's dealing with, the father of her children. This is the type of stuff that he has recently done to her or tried to do to her.
Why did this man just send me a message about child support? Why did the same man that have not contributed a cent to his children's well-being for the last 10 years, because my oldest is 10, just sent me a message stating verbatim, once the children get here, I am expecting a child support payment shortly after. I'm not in shock, but I'm in something. I don't know what I'm in, because what?
Enraged.
I literally have had to do everything by myself. By myself. To the point where I tried to relocate to get assistance because this man wasn't doing anything. And this man just hit me up and said that he is expecting a child support payment when he's never contributed a cent to his children.
She tried to relocate based on what she just said, if I'm not mistaken. She tried to relocate to get services. So she tried to move out of the state so that she could be in a better situation for her and the children. That's what she wasn't just fleeing to flee just to be an asshole. She was like, I'm not getting no support here. So she bounced, or she tried to leave so she can get more support. Okay. That now everything is making sense. Like everything she's saying now, I'm like, okay, it's all adding up, right? Like I could see why, I could see what's going on. He's been making life a living hell for her and the kids thus far, not supporting them, taking her to court, for whatever reasons, even though he clearly doesn't like the kids, or what it would seem like to me. But yeah, here we are, right? Very, very interesting. Now, for me, I get the struggles of a single mother because I grew up with a single mother. I'm a parent now, right? Even though I'm not single, I'm a parent now, and I see how difficult it is to take care of my children with me and my wife together as a unit, right? My mother did it in poverty with 3 kids. One of them wasn't even her biological child. She adopted. She had a shitty man when the whole time she had some version of a shitty man, even though it was 2 different men, but she had some version of a shitty man her whole entire time, sucking the life out of her, right? Starting with my dad all the way up into, her other boyfriend or whatever, right? So on top of all of that, we grew up in the poorest part of the city. She had to commute every day, and she got zero support from any fucking man. Zero support. Now, she was getting services though, thank goodness, right? We were on welfare, we were living on Section 8, and my mom worked. She was gainfully employed the whole entire time. But she was struggling. She was struggling at times, for sure, right? My lights never got cut off. My water always was hot. My electricity, it was always something to eat. You know what I mean? Like, I could say a lot for my mom that, 365, 7 days a week, I had access to the things that I needed, my necessities. And a lot of people in my neighborhood didn't. A lot of people in my neighborhood, lived off of free lunch programs in the summertime. A lot of people did. So I'm not about to sit here and talk about my mama and act like she didn't go through hell and high water to maintain a household for me and my brother and my sister, right? And I can say I can empathize and I can understand after doing that for 10 consecutive years. I could understand how if a person were to lose custody of their child, it would be bittersweet. It would be both a relief and a disappointment simultaneously. And also, I know women that, and men, but mostly, I only know women that have done this before. I know women that took care of their babies for 12 years, 13 years. And then they was like, all right, go live with your daddy. And then they daddy did the rest. Like, I don't have any problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to each his own. Like, I'm not about to sit there and judge people for that. And I'm definitely not about to judge a mother for that. It's not conventional, but I'm not about to judge a mother for that. That's all I'm saying.
This is going to sound crazy, but I don't want my children back. It's not because I don't love them. I love them so much. I love them wholeheartedly. I love them beyond comprehension. But I don't want my children back. And I feel like I had to come over here because you guys are so sweet. And my DMs and my comments giving me reassurance that, oh, they're going to come back. They're going to, everything's going to work out and stuff like that. And I believe you. Like, everything is going to work out. However, I don't want them children back. And it's not because I don't want to take care of them or anything like that. I love taking care of them. I love raising them, but I don't want them back for another set of reasons. One, I don't have a support system. I have been raising these children with no support system. And when I say no support system, I'm not even joking. I don't have an emergency contact. When I take them to the doctor, I don't have an emergency contact. I don't have friends. I don't have family. I don't have, like, I take care of everything by myself.
Now she can be the emergency contact for her kids. Now she can be the support system for her kids, right? Even if she don't like the baby daddy, that's irrelevant. For the sake of the children, now she gets to be those things. But when she was taking care of the kids, she didn't have that support. That's what I'm getting from what she's saying. And it makes perfect sense to me.
I don't have that. Okay? So that's one. Imagine me, one person, taking care of 3 children by myself with no support system, not even for an emergency contact. That's one. Second, I was manipulated into having my children. I was 9 months pregnant on my 21st birthday, and their dad was 33. Granted, I knew he was 32. I knew he was 12 years older than me when I met him. Or at least, like, in getting to know him, I knew he was 12 years older than me. But at 19 years old, I did not have the mental capacity and understanding to assess and realize that I was being manipulated into having children prior than I wanted to. So it was never my plan to have children at the age of 21. My plan was to finish college and go to law school. And by the time I got my bachelor's degree, my son was 6 months old. And I found myself like putting off law school because I didn't want anybody else to raise him. I was manipulated into having those children. Third, which kind of goes with the second one, is one of the ways that this man manipulated me into having these children was using the whole line that, oh my gosh, she's the only person with his last name, and if he dies, the last name's going to go with him. I don't know why that was enough. But then again, I was extremely naive at the time. I was coming from so much abuse, so much trauma. I didn't know up from down, sky to ground, like whatever. So he was able to use that. And with that being said, I feel like if you want to continue your legacy, if you want to prolong your legacy, then take care of the children. Because over the last however long, this man have not contributed an increment of energy towards the well-being of the boys. Like, no financial support, no physical support, no nothing. But he wanted those children to be able to prolong his legacy. Why would I continue the legacy of a deadbeat? The only like not like I don't even want to deal with this man, because right now he is on my phone. He's playing on my phone. I don't even know why he's playing on my phone, because like, you have the children. You wanted the children. I took them to you. You have their birth certificate. You have their social. You have them physically. There is no reason why you should be playing on my phone, but you're playing on my phone. Because at the end of the day, it was never about you having the children. It was about you having access to me. It was about you being able to get in contact with me. And I don't have time for that. Because this man is abusive. He's not physically abusive because I beat his ass. I fight back. But he realized early on in the relationship that I had been through a lot, but I wasn't one of those people that went through a lot of stuff and became cold. I went through a lot of stuff and then grew in empathy. So because of that, my ability to empathize have been used as a weapon against me since the time that I met this man. Because one of the ways that he used it in the beginning was to use his mother's death as a way to connect. So I went as far as to even ask, like, because when I say I don't want to deal with this man anymore, like, I've been trying to erase any type of connection that we may have. Of course, I can't erase his children, but anything else I've been trying to erase. I set boundaries. I block him. He find ways to get on my stuff. I, at some point, thought about signing my rights over just so I never had to communicate with this man ever again. And I told the judge that. Because I am not going to change who I am for anybody. I am not going to harden my heart because someone like this want to try to weaponize my empathy or want to try to weaponize the fact that I have compassion. So I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to harden. So I will just remove your access. So yeah, no, I don't want them children back. Like, I love my children. They will never need for anything. But the only way that I will go back to raising my children and in a way that makes sense to me is if one, I never have to interact with this man again. 2, I changed the children's last name.
It's a tale as old as time. How many like markers, how many like ahas were there in her story where it was like, yep, been through that before, heard that before, seen that before. It was stereotypical. It was like boom, 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 boom. It was everything. The manipulating her by bringing up his dead mama. It's a running joke at this point that men do that. Weaponize their vulnerability. Men weaponize their own vulnerabilities to manipulate women. That's why I think it's fucking hilarious and maddening at the same time to hear men constantly lie on women and say, women use our vulnerabilities against us. You weaponize your perceived vulnerabilities against her. Y'all aren't even vulnerable about your mother dying. You don't give a fuck about that lady. If you did, you wouldn't use her as a way to manipulate another person. You don't even care about your own mother, but you weaponize the idea because, everybody would assume, yeah, of course they're hurt that their mother died. Anybody would believe that. Yeah, granny died. Yeah, we understand that. And you play on that. You don't give a fuck about that woman either. You only care about yourself. Everything she said, I'm telling y'all, for me, I get it. Some people, I can never give up my kid and yada, yada, yada. And I can never say, that's you. That's you. I completely understand everything she said. If you are in a situation where you are barely floating, you are barely staying above water, mentally, emotionally, financially, because you have kids, somebody comes along and they can give you a reprieve, and it is the parent of the child, the children, right? Now, mind you, she said, if the kids are being abused, if the kids are in danger, and she doesn't know how it's going to play out in that way, she has already admitted it. She doesn't know that. And I'm taking everything she's saying with the caveat of as long as they're taken care of, as long as they're not abused. You see what I'm saying? Of course, if they're being abused, she'll go get her kids. Obviously, I don't believe that for one second that she wouldn't go get those kids. She's saying, though, as long as that man takes care of those babies and they don't want for anything and they don't, they're in school and they're eating and they're healthy and they're thriving and all of that stuff, like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good with not having those kids back, because that man, the only way that he'll support those children is if he has them. And the kids need, and I need his support. I can't do it on my own. I'm struggling. I can barely keep my head above water. I don't think there is anything wrong with the way that she feels right now. It could sound callous. I didn't pick up on that at all. It just sounded honest. It sounded honest, right? Now, there were a good amount of these types of comments that were made underneath that video, right? But I just picked a few of them out. I didn't want to get too bogged down in that because I got other stuff we want to talk about. But for an example, Jay Bird Baby says, kids never get over being abandoned by the mother. Why? Why don't they ever get over being abandoned by the mother when they're abandoned? Like, I don't think they get over being abandoned by either parent, but why the mother specifically? Why are mothers held to this higher standard than fathers all the time? You can hear it's dripping and oozing in all of this language. If this was a dad, y'all would completely understand. If a father said, I'm abandoning my kids because I can't deal with the mother, y'all make excuses for that man every which way you possibly can, right? Now, it's a mother that is saying, hey, I'm not abandoning my kids at all, but I don't want custody of my kids. That's all she's saying. I don't want custody of my kids. By the way, she was already sharing custody with the father. She was already splitting the custody with the dad. So it wasn't like it's going from 0 to 100 with him. They were doing off and on for, whatever recent times. It wasn't for the whole time. But in recent history, they were splitting custody week on, week off. A mother says, I'm good with just giving them full custody because I can barely keep my head above water. I don't have a support system. And y'all sitting here talking about kids never get over being abandoned by the mother. She is not abandoning her children. Jay Bird further elaborates and says, we can try to normalize this, but this is against everything we were wired to be, biologically speaking. Again, bioessentialism, right? Now, all of a sudden, women have a different responsibility to children than men. Not all of a sudden, but this is what you guys are trying to push. Men can get away with abandoning the kids. She should have chosen better. Look, even if you want to play that game, shouldn't he have chosen better than a deadbeat mama? Y'all trying to label her a deadbeat mama? Shouldn't he have chosen better? Like, look how quickly the language changes when it's a mother. Look how high the standards are for mothers and for women versus men. Men can get away. Not only do men get away with abandoning their children, you guys make excuses for them. It's not like you just ignore it. No. You make excuses for them and lie for them. Shelby says, oh no, girl, they are going to hate you. That's cool if you are cool with it, But don't think for a second they aren't going to resent you. Why would they resent her? She's in their lives. I wouldn't resent my mother. I know, again, I know people, I know children that their mothers gave, like, and they didn't do it in this way. But remember in What's Love Got to Do With It, where Ike Turner's ex came over and dropped off his 2 sons and then pulled off? I know people that have done that. I know mothers that have done that with their children. Them children don't resent them mamas at all. They love their mamas. Their mamas were still there. They still saw they went like their mamas just kicked them to the curb like men do. The mothers were still involved. So I'm not under, where's the resent going to come in at? I'm not getting it. It doesn't make any sense. Makes zero sense. This comment says, Yester West says, quote, he's abusive and manipulative, so I left him with my kids, end quote. Okay, dead. She didn't leave her kids with him. He won them in a custody battle in court. What are y'all not understanding about what happened? She lost custody. She didn't give up custody. She lost custody. That's what her video said. She got 19 videos saying day one, I got 5 days until I lose custody. I got 4 days until I lose custody. That is court ordered, bro. She did not give up any fucking thing. She said she thought about it, but she never did though. She lost custody. That means she fought for it. She didn't give it up. She lost it. Y'all try to paint this woman out to be the damn devil for saying, for the sake of my children, when it was just me doing it, I was struggling mightily. And I wasn't able to be the best I could be for their sake, right? I'm not with that man because he is argumentative and he is abusive. So we're not together. We're better apart, right? And now she's saying, I can be the support system that my children need. Because when they were with me, everybody abandoned me, which goes another thing that we always just glance over in society is when men have custody of children, they have a support system. When women have custody of children, nobody shows up. When my mama had me, no man showed up for her. Her brothers didn't show up for her. My dad didn't show up for her. My brother's dad didn't show up for her. No men in her life, no boyfriend showed up. Nobody showed up for my mom. Nobody. No man showed up for her whatsoever. She had no support system in that regard. The women did. My auntie took care of me. My grandma took care of me. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. But the men, none. Not one man. I have 5 uncles. I have 5 uncles. One of them can't take care of himself, so minus him, right? I have 4 uncles. I had 4 uncles, and all 4 of them, 2 of them lived in a walking distance from my house for a while. One of them moved to the city next to, like the city. No. Yes, 2 of them moved to cities that connected to my city. The city closest to my city, right? One of them. No. I had 6 uncles. I'm sorry, I have 6 uncles. Yep, I got 6 uncles. My bad. I got 6 uncles. I totally fucking forgot. I got 6 uncles. Anyways, 2 of them can't take care of themselves. 4 of them. So out of the other 4, there's 3. I'm sorry, it's 5 total. Sorry. Out of them, 2 of them, all of them lived close to me. That's my point. That's all I want to say. I'm messing it up. All my uncles lived close to me. They had houses. They made 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff. They never, ever, ever helped my mom. Never. They never showed up. None of them did. My dad's brother never showed up. My mom's brothers never showed up. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you, I don't care if my family see this shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm the black sheep. That nigga, I'm gonna tell the truth. I ain't about to sit here. I'm 43 years old. I see what happened. I'm an uncle now. I would never abandon my nieces and my nephew. Never. They need help. I got them. They need somewhere to stay. Come live with me. They struggling because their parents can barely fucking keep their head over water. What do you need? I got you. I've been like that since, and even when I didn't even have it like that, I was like that. Now I got it like that? Absolutely. No worries. Everybody come stay with us. No worries. Don't worry about it. You lost your spot. Come live with us. We got you. Don't worry about it. So I don't give y'all no fucking pass. I don't give the men no fucking pass. I totally understand everything this woman is saying. Totally understand it. My mom let me go live with my dad twice. No, I'm sorry. Once when I was in the 7th grade, that man got arrested and went to jail and told me not to tell my mom and put me at danger, put me at risk. Then I went to go live with him when I was a teenager, 19 years old. I went to go live with my dad by choice. Terrible idea. It was even worse than that. I preferred the jail time, right? But yeah, my brother's dad never showed up for him. Never met him in real life. Don't know what the fuck his daddy looked like. Didn't find out what his daddy looked like till Facebook came out. The men don't support women at all, but the women will still support the children. They'll show up for the kids. The mothers don't abandon their kids. She's not abandoning her children. She is going to be the support that her children needs. She's going to be the support system that her children needs and deserves. And y'all up here trying to shame her, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves judging her.
It's comical watching y'all talk about how bad of a mother I am, because I said that I don't want my children back the way that things were. And what's funny is a lot of you guys don't even, and it goes to show, because as much as I want to explain and I want to give details, I also don't. Not necessarily because I feel like some of you would understand, but I feel like for the majority of the hate that I'm getting, or the majority of the negativity, like, y'all are committed to misunderstanding me. You are committed to the narrative that you already put in your mind from the first 5, 10, maybe a minute of my video. Because if you watch the video in its entirety, you would get a better understanding than the comments that you guys are putting on there. So as much as I want to explain, because at the end of the day, I know who I am. I'm not explaining because I need you guys to think that I'm a good mother. I'm not explaining because I want validation for this or that. I know who I am. I have lived this day in and day out for the last 10 years. I know what I do. I know what I don't do. I know how I treat my children. I know how I don't treat my children. I know how dedicated I am to...
Real quick, how is she a bad mother, but y'all sitting up here saying that the kid's gonna resent her for giving them up? If she a bad mother, wouldn't they love that she... How's she both? How's she a bad mother and the kid's gonna hate her for giving them up? Wouldn't, like, if my mama was a bad mother and she gave me up to my father, and my father put me in a better position, now I'm in a happier, healthier position, why would I resent my mother for that? I would respect her for that. I'd be like, shit, well, at least she made the right decision. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So either she's a bad mother who is making the best decision because she's a bad mother, or she's actually a good mother who just fucking lost custody of her children.
Motherhood and my children. And I still stand on my statement. Like, when I made my statement, I didn't make my statement like, oh my gosh, I don't want my children, let me go give them to somebody else. I was forced to give my children to their father. I was court ordered to give my children to their father. My children don't like conflict. My boys do not like conflict, to the point where they begged their father to stop with the whole court things that he was doing, to stop with sending cops to my house regularly, trying to do a well-being check, to stop, because this man called Department of Children's Services on me and accused me of abuse. Like, my children literally cry in situations of high conflict. And because of that, and because I've known that, and because I pay attention to that, I've always tried to make it so that things can be as amicable as possible, because I never wanted to put my children in a line of fire. If I know this makes you uncomfortable, because, for example, my middle child, he had...
I thought women were the ones who weaponized the system against men. Remember? We am I in the Twilight Zone? Ain't that what y'all be fucking lying about every day? I can't, man. I swear to God, y'all make me sick to my fucking stomach. I swear, I put that on every. I swear, I promise y'all make me so fucking mad the way y'all be fucking lying on these women. I'm not even joking. You make me sick, like because I know the truth. Like no, like I know the truth. I know y'all are fucking lying. You're lying. You're lying. Men weaponize the system against women any fucking chance they get. If a man, the only reason why more men don't do it is because y'all don't got the patience to do it. But when a man is dedicated to ruining a woman's life, he succeeds the vast majority of the fucking time. Period, point blank. When a man is dedicated to ruining a woman's life, he succeeds the vast majority of the time. Legally, oftentimes legally. And if not legally, something else. Unaliving her, something else. But yeah, he succeeds. And y'all up here talking about women weaponize the sense. Where? How?
Has an ear sensitivity. He doesn't like loud noises. So the minute that he hears loud noises, such as yelling or something else, it could be something that he likes. He likes airplanes, for example. If there are airplanes and they're very, very loud, he shuts down. It's painful to his ears. He starts crying. So of course, if I were to have a disagreement with his father and I am yelling and I'm raising my voice, or he's yelling, he's raising his voice, that's going to cause him pain. My oldest just doesn't like conflict, period. It makes him feel extremely uncomfortable. It makes him feel unsafe. And because of that, I've always gone out of my way to reduce the amount of conflict that exists, while also simultaneously teaching him that conflict resolution is a necessity. Because at the end of the day, if you're being yourself and you're advocating for yourself and you're standing on your values and your morals, and the other person is doing the same, there's a high likelihood that it's not going to be in alignment. And if it's not in alignment, there's going to be friction. And as a result of that friction, there's going to be conflict that needs to be resolved. So I don't shield my children from conflict. I give it to them in increments and teach them how to actually handle it and how to stay grounded in situation of high conflict. I say all of that to say I love in action. I don't love in just words. I know exactly what I said when I said I don't want them back. I have 20% custody. When I say I don't want them back, it's not like, okay, here you go your children, I'm going to throw them in the trash, I've rid myself of them. Oh, no. I literally had a psychotic break the day that I found out that I would have to return them back to Florida. And the reason why I was able to reel myself back and get into the mindset that I needed to get to, because the day that I found this out was the birthday of my oldest. So life continues. Was the fact that first, God is fair. And the minute that I grabbed that razor from the bathroom after the court hearing, my landlord knocked on my door offering me brand new furniture. And I took that as God reassuring me to trust, to have faith, because there's something bigger in the works. Their father may not necessarily be the best man ever, or at least not to my definition. However, they love him. They love their father. And I have never tried to steer them in a way so that they don't love their father. I've always been very honest with my children. I've always been forthcoming with information that they can actually digest. I don't want to overwhelm them. However, I have never gone out of my way to try to make them dislike their father, because that is still 50% of them.
Totally understand. And that's another lie that y'all like to tell about women, is that they be manipulating the babies and not like the fathers. If your baby don't like you, it's because of who you are. I don't know how to tell you that. There's no lie you can tell my babies to get them to not like me. You can tell them the truth about me and they still would like me. I could have wronged you. You could be like, yo, daddy did it. And you could be completely right. And my babies would be like, sucks to be you. I love that nigga though. He cool with me. Like, there's nothing you can tell my babies to make them not like me. My babies, they like me. I'm here. I'm with them every day. They see me every day. They see what I do for them. I talk to them. I love them. I support them. Like, you can't convince them otherwise, because I'm a present father. So if anybody, even the mother of your children, are able to convince your children to not like you, you are doing something for them to not like. I'm sorry to tell you that. I'm sorry to I could never. I couldn't imagine getting even if I tried to do it, I'm saying my babies would never dislike their mother. They would never. There's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do. They mama could slap me in the face in front of them. And my son is not, he's very perceptive. He would be like, Daddy, you deserve that. Like, he'd be like, I didn't hear what happened, but I know mommy wouldn't have slapped you if you didn't deserve it. Like, there's zero I can do to convince that boy not to love his mama. Like, it just don't. So anytime you tell me that, that's a red fucking flag. Oh, they alienating me from their kid. It don't work. Alienation doesn't work if the father is present. It's impossible to alienate a child from a present parent. Impossible. Repeat, impossible. I don't care what y'all say. It is impossible to alienate a child from a present parent, from a non-abusive present parent. It's impossible. It's impossible. Go back and watch the movie Hook. Even in Hook, they stole that little boy and took him to a magical land and did everything they did everything possible to make that man hate Peter Pan, his father. Didn't work in the end. Because his daddy was his daddy. His daddy was there the whole time. He knew his daddy. Charlie never turned. Charlie could never hate Peter Pan. I think that was the name. His name was Charlie, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a little old. I haven't watched the movie in about 30 years. But anyways, right? You can't, it doesn't work. Y'all be up here lying on these women. I'm sick of it. It's over. We dead in that shit. Listening to everything this woman said, I have nothing but respect for her. I wish her and her children the best. She did that. She trying every fucking possible thing to be the best parent, and she still lost custody in the end. So, yeah, there we go.